This is One Voice Radio and Media. Today we've got a special guest in the studio with the group. We've got David Wright, an Autism ambassador. Welcome into the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, look, our pleasure, our pleasure. We've also got in the studio today, it's very busy, there is some people behind the camera. We've got Jake, Dan, Zayan, so many names, Stephen, Jane, James, Andrew, Simone, Mark and Sean. So many people, but it's a big occasion, so we need it. Let's get started with the questions. Simone, first up.
How are you today?
I'm not bad, thank you. It's nice to see some sun, because we haven't had it for a wee while, you know, nothing but rain, but it's nice to see the weather's changing a bit for us. So
Cold,
yeah, I'm not bad, thank you.
Cold in the mornings, though, very cold.
Yes.
Extremely cold. But it gets nice during the day. Just warm up a tiny bit. Next question, James. Where are we, James? There we are. Can you tell us
Oh, right. Can you tell me
a bit about yourself?
a bit about yourself?
I can, yeah. My name's David. I live in Heaton Moor, so I'm only a stone's throw from here.
Very close.
And yeah, I've had autism diagnosed now since May 2018, so it's fairly new.
Yeah.
So it's still something that I'm kind of getting used to a bit. When I was working, I used to work in schools, and I used to be the IT guy.
No.
So when they used to break things, it always used to say, send it to David, David will fix it, you know. I worked for about 16 years in different schools, but over those 16 years I had 4 redundancies, fairly rapid.
Yeah.
And the 4th one was the one that made me not very well.
Okay.
And when that happened, that then started my journey into being counselled and finding out that I might have autism, and it turning out that we were dead right. So that's a little bit about me.
16 years. So are you familiar with any of this equipment as well?
A little bit, but only a tiny bit. For me, it tended to be more things like projectors, whiteboards, desktop computers.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Mark, next question.
Can you tell us what you volunteers involve?
I can, yes. So with my volunteer role at Disability Stockport, it involves me going out and giving talks on autism to do with lived-in experience, because the idea is that I'm quite keen to give some awareness, knowledge, understanding on the subject. I'll tell you sort of a little bit about how it started. So one of my support workers at Disability Stockport, one day she just off the cuff said, you could do talks. Okay. So a few days later I said, well, yes, I'd quite like to give a talk. She was a little bit worried because it would be me going somewhere I've never been before, it would be talking with people I've never met, and these are all quite big red flags for someone with autism, what not to do. But I actually said to her, well, I've booked it, it's next week. So she was a bit shocked by that, but she said, what we'll do then, David, is we'll do it, and if you're not happy with it or not comfortable with it, it's simple, we can just stop and we can just walk away, not a problem. But I delivered it, and at the end of it she took me to one side and she said, so what do you think? You know, and I said, I quite liked it. So I've not looked back really, and it's ballooned and ballooned and ballooned to the point where my first guest talk was just to 5 people about 4 years ago, and let me get this right, 2022 and 2023 I was invited as a guest speaker at GMEX in Manchester, which is a little bit bigger.
How big is that?
So my audience was more sort of 300, 400.
Oh wow. That's a big audience. Extremely big. A big jump from 5 people.
Yeah.
A very big jump from 5 people. Impressive.
And obviously now I'm here and I'm talking to your lovely selves and the lovely audience you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Next question is Zayan.
Yes.
So we use Stevens for
Which one is it? 4. Have you faced any challenges in having autism yourself?
I have. So again, a classic example for me is supermarkets. Hate supermarkets. You can't pay me to go into a supermarket. On my own, I'll go in the supermarket with a support worker or with a friend. On my own, no chance. And the reason for that is because in supermarkets, they're quite overwhelming with a lot of sensory input, because something called sensory overload goes hand in hand with autism, and it's basically where all of the information comes at you at once, but you can't split it or prioritise it. It all just comes in one go, and you lack the ability to be able to deal with that information. So in a supermarket, you'll have all the products, the different colours, different shapes, different sizes. So I'd be looking at every single one. You'd have the lights above you, which can be quite bright. You might have the tannoy and the music in the background. You might have people talking on the phone, people bumping into you with trolleys. The aisles in supermarkets are quite claustrophobic for me, because you basically got 2 walls either side like this, and one way in and one way out.
And they are quite narrow too.
Yes, you see. So that kind of thing is something that I did struggle with. However, a very simple fix for me was during the past sort of time that I've been with Disability Stockport, which is about 6 or 7 years now, about 5 years ago I think, I got a radar key. And the radar key is for disabled toilets. So for me, it's not that I need the bathroom. What I do need though is quiet space.
Yes.
And that room will give you that, you know. So you can sort of have some time to sort of compose yourself and gather your thoughts, and then carry on with where you are.
That's a good strategy actually, a very good strategy. Amazing. Next is Sean. It's like a maze stepping forward, isn't it? Yeah, you can use that one, out of that one, either one, Sean.
What would you say to someone who is struggling with autism?
Good question. So one of the things we have at Disability Stockport is a monthly autism social group. And with that group, everyone sort of is affected with autism differently, but they all have a baseline similarity, a similar starting point. And what you find is that some people that are coming to the group, they've never been to a group before, they've never been to the building before, so obviously that's rather a struggle for them. So what I do through my Autism Ambassador role there is I try to have some time with them where I can sort of introduce myself, tell them a little bit about the building, show them around the place, give them an idea of what to expect, let them know that if they need some time alone that there are rooms available for them to have that. And I found that it just puts them at ease a bit.
Relax. Oh, amazing. Next up is Jake, I believe.
What is the best thing about your role?
That's another good question. Best thing about my role? I would say 2 things. One is being able to give information, so that knowledge, awareness, knowledge, understanding, that kind of thing. But the main thing that I would say is key for me is being able to meet so many different people from different walks of life. You know, opportunities like coming here today to meet your lovely selves and your lovely audience.
And you're also doing things with 300 people in the crowd as well. So
yeah.
I can imagine you meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Next up is Andrew.
Hello? How are you?
I'm not bad, how are you?
Good. Right,
Good.
7. Have you got any planning for AUT, I guess,
Autism.
Autism Week?
I do, yes. And this is hot off the press really, this. So this is something that's only just been arranged and confirmed last week. So we're going to be organising a Autism Awareness Day. It is actually going to be next, let me get this right, Autism Awareness Week, 2nd to the 3rd. I think we're doing it on the 3rd of April.
Okay.
And a lot of charities are going to be there that sort of provide support for people with autism. So it'll be an opportunity for people out there that don't have any help to be able to meet companies that can help.
I have a Down syndrome when I was born
Okay.
in the late 70s.
Right.
And where is that?
Cheadle.
Cheadle.
Yeah.
Next up we have Jane.
How could we get involved in what you do?
Good question. Am I liking these questions?
No, they are good.
So how can you get involved? Very simple, really. You can either contact Disability Stockport directly, let them know that you're interested in being involved. The charity does have a lot of different support groups, events going on, so you can sort of volunteer there. You can be involved in the daycare centre downstairs. You can be involved with office work upstairs. You can be involved with helping out in different groups that the charity has. So again, for me, the prime thing for me is the Autism Social Group. So it might be that they're looking for someone just to help out, chatting with people, help getting the board games out that we have, greeting the guest speakers coming in that we have. Even simple things like, you know, can you help with tea and coffee, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So a lot of options, a lot of variety.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Mark.
What are your plans just for this year?
You're very good at this. Anyone think you've all done this before? So the rest of the year, well, that's a very good one. The main things that stand out for me is in May, I've been invited to be a guest speaker at an autism conference in Llandudno.
Oh wow.
I haven't been to Llandudno since I was about 10. So I haven't been to Llandudno in 20 years or more. So it'd be nice to go back and see it. So they have a conference there, and they've asked me to be a guest speaker again, an autism conference, guest speaker, giving you talk to help with that knowledge, information and so on.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Very nice. Jake.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything you would like to add to?
You're very good.
Thank you.
So I am familiar with Pure Innovations. So I have actually got a track record with them a little bit, but from a long time ago. So when I was first diagnosed with autism, which was May 2018, around that time I was looking for support, and I was looking in Stockport for places that offered that. And there was 3 places that I found, and one of them was Pure Innovations. One of them was a place called Flag that no longer exists now, it's gone. Yeah. And then the last one was Disability Stockport. Now, I was offered a support worker at all 3. So my time with Pure Innovations there, I found then at the time the focus was more looking to help you back into work. I was more looking for sort of general support, life support, independent support, that kind of thing. The support worker that I was offered with Flag, our relationship didn't gel, it didn't work, we just didn't bond.
Happens sometimes.
Yes,
doesn't
it
it?
does. And then the last place that I came to was Disability Stockport, and they've been stuck with me ever since. But the problem now is that with my support workers, because they've known me for a while now, I can't get away with anything.
They're on to you straight away.
Yeah. But it'd be nice to know what kind of things you get up to at Pure, what's offered at Pure, you know.
Is
Tell
anyone
me a little
want to
bit.
answer that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
We've got a few hands, let's go Jake first and we'll work our way around, yeah? Go on then, Jake. Go to you.
Well, obviously we got the radio
Yes. The busy radio. And then you do Fridays
and animating on the radio.
animation downstairs. How long have you been at Pure now, Jay? Do you know?
I want to say, I think I started 2017.
Right, okay.
There was just a couple of years.
Yeah, a few years.
Yeah.
Andrew, did you have something you wanted to say?
Now, I work at Pure for a very long time. In Marble called Lakeside Cafe.
Okay, yeah.
It's good that. I worked outside, when it takes snow, and I liked it, but I decided to finish and then I got into catering.
Okay, good, good. So again, there's a broad spectrum of things that people can be involved with Pure as well.
So many things. When
Yes.
you really talk about projects, I couldn't possibly guess how many projects exactly we have. A lot. We have,
Yeah,
we have
an awful lot going on. Yeah.
each area, but no, there is a lot going on. A lot.
Yes, and it's nice to have that variety for your service users.
So they can always change as well. Midway through,
Yes.
if they're not enjoying it, there's plenty of options.
Mhm. Thank you for that. That's great.
Stephen,
Yes.
do you want to end it off with your line?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got one more thing, Andrew. Yeah. What did you want to say? Go on.
Yeah, well,
Wait, give it 1 second, Stephen. We'll come back to you. Go on, Andrew.
What songs do you like?
What songs do I like?
Only one.
One. No pressure. No pressure at all. Sorry?
Just asking.
Just asking.
Favourite song of all time?
You've got
You go back in the early 80s if you want.
Okay. To be my interest in music is quite broad. I couldn't honestly tell you. I couldn't say
what band
one. Sorry. Well, obviously because I'm a Stockport lad, the band that I do quite like is the Blossoms.
Blossoms.
Yes.
I could do that later. But you're done.
Yeah, you
So
like
yeah,
that, you like
I think
that.
if something from the Blossoms happens, you're good.
That's not bad. We might have him in one day. Go on then, Stephen. You wanna...
okay, yeah, well,
Thank you
thank you
very
very
much
much
for coming
coming
down.
down.
Thank you.
Well done, Jane. Perfect. Done.